players, 5 different countries represented, and only one team can win it all. Corelli, it's time for the grand finals.
What a matchup we have here today. You heard about the devs talking about Gen.G. They have crushed the competition once again to get themselves to a final, but Complexity has really been the final boss for Gen.G. They have yet to overcome them. Can they do it here in this grand final?
You heard apparently Jack in his interview say they had a bit of a mental block against Complexity. They lost their first series against them, but they get a hot start here. And it's Chronic, the player that puts in the first goal for Gen.G.
Exactly the start that Gen.G wants, especially after last series. And this little pass to Chronic is what they do so well inside the box. Selfless play. Certainly, Jack could have instantly taken that shot, but the pass secures the goal with Chronic shooting. And now this one coming off the back wall. Jack's got an open net. It's 2-0 so quickly for Gen.G.
Another goal. This one off kickoff. Chronic could have hit that if he shot it perfectly, but still on the rebound. Somehow the ball finds its way out to apparently Jack. A hot start for Gen.G. And apparently Jack said that he thinks with how they're playing right now, he thinks they can finally get over that mental block for Complexity. And it seems like they might just do it if they can keep this level of play up.
Right now they're doing it. They have gotten a sucker punch in against Complexity. Now Complexity trying to get back, and AJG's shot denied.
This grand final, it has been an interesting one this season, this year so far, Corelli, with what's been going on in NA. This is the North American grand final, but if you tuned in after walking out of a time machine, you might be a little shocked.
Yeah, new viewers are confused. If you haven't watched since, I don't know, season 4 or something, you're tuning in for the first time, you might be confused. But this is where the league has developed so much great talent around the world. They've come to NA, and they are showing off here in the last split and in this split here. Apparently Jack tried to get that one off the back wall. Gen.G trying to pile on here for a third goal.
Apparently Jack taking his time down to the ground, going for an infield pass, but AJG recognizes that, jumps the lane. Another high pop. Chronic with a fake. Razebull going low. Nolly. But for his self pass off the corner, he'll leave it alone. And then you see Chronic all the way back. Didn't find boost in the corner either. So this is going to give Complexity some possession and a nice chance to do some damage. You see Appjack still on 0, finally getting that corner boost. Chronic trying to keep that play upfield. Appjack. It's a light shot, easily handled by Razebull.
I think this is good stabilization coming out for Complexity as well. They've done a good job of slowing things down. They're gaining possession here. AJG just wants to take it by himself. I think for Complexity, they got to be a little bit more creative, not so direct, if they're going to beat this Gen.G squad in the midfield.
AJG had a lot of big goals against Dignitas. Going toe-to-toe with Gen.G. Now Chronic has the ball, and Chronic dismantled G2. I believe Jorby said it looks like a round 1 matchup. That is how badly Gen.G beat down G2.
It was not pretty, and I think that's why a lot of people have Gen.G picked here. They have been stellar in every regional, every tournament they've signed up for. Of course, making it to the final in every single one. Can they capitalize here right off the rip in this winter split? Can they overcome Complexity? AJG right on target, but Chronic turns it away. Razebull tried to get this one of a CRR, denied. Now Gen.G on the break. Apparently Jack through the midfield. Nolly trying to punch AJG out of the way, and apparently Jack will walk it home.
This is how much faith and confidence Gen.G have in one another. Nolly with no boost. He picks up one small pad. He doesn't hesitate at all. Lets apparently Jack pick up that ball and dribble it down. You know, Nolly, instead of rotating out, making that play, it was so smart.
Wow, what a start here in game 1 for Gen.G. You thought maybe they might have cooled off for a second there with Complexity stabilizing, but no. Great setup from Gen.G on the transition. And right now, Complexity struggling to put anything dangerous on target. It's been a lot of lob balls towards the box, towards the Gen.G defender. Now Razebull tries to squeak in through Nolly, but still can't break through. And this one might find the back of the net all the way across the field.
Oh my, and that's a hat trick for apparently Jack sniping it off the bounce from the corner, and Gen.G extend their lead 4-0. We've got over a minute and a half left. But Gen.G, it seems like they've got this game in the bag, and there's been a bit of a recurring pattern so far with teams playing Gen.G in this bracket, and it's that Gen.G just makes them look slow, they make them look sluggish, and they honestly are making teams look bad, Corelli.
Yeah, sloppy is the word I would use. You really aren't seeing any play style executed by anyone playing against Gen.G, especially in these playoff brackets. Certainly Complexity got the better of them in the group, but once Gen.G gets to that bracket, they dismantle squads and they do not look the same.
And you saw apparently Jack pre-jumping that lane, and it goes right into him. It's like they're clairvoyant. Gen.G Mobil won defensively, offensively. They're pre-jumping. And apparently Jack, he even mentioned a little bit. He said he thinks the thing they're doing better than any other team is using their brain.
That's pretty smart to do, James. He certainly wanted to do that.
Well, he said thinking.
Okay.
To be fair. But, I mean, that's the way I took it.
That's fair enough. As, hold on, Complexity might get their first
Gen.G scores again.
You going to give it to him like that? Okay.
I mean, look at it. Look at the shot.
That's CRR getting credit at the end of the day.
Only couldn't get back in time, but, it looked worse than it was. However, Gen.G, they can give up one at this point. Still a 3-goal lead. It would take a miracle for Complexity to get back into this one, but let's touch on that, Corelli, just a little bit. Apparently Jack, he went out there and said it. They're playing more of a strategic game than any other team out there, and he thinks that's what's making the difference.
Yeah, I think you can see in the confidence. I mean, how many pre-jumps have we called out, James, in the series that we've casted from them? And the series against Gen.G, or excuse me, G2 as well, they have just so much confidence and so much poise behind the ball. All three of them know, it seems like they know exactly where each other are the entire time. I mean, they are an incredible squad to be playing this consistently on the same page for so long. One more for the road. Apparently, Jack, his 4th or 5th if you're James stats, and Gen.G crushing Complexity here in game 1.
And we saw more of what I think Jack was referencing. I'm thinking about that play with Nolly where he was on 0 boost. The ball is right next to apparently Jack and Nolly, and you're thinking, oh, we're going to see a double commit here, or what's going on with the spacing, but they make it work. They're so quick to improv and come up with a plan, and their communication must be on point to be able to do that on a whim like that. And the pre-jumps defensively that we saw from apparently Jack, all around, this was another rock solid game from Gen.G. What else can you say? They looked unbeatable.
Well, that's what I was about to say, James. Okay, the analysis is Gen.G good. Of course, we talked about them the whole game, but what does Complexity really need to do here to change it up? And for me, looking at that last game, I think they got to take care of the ball more. I think they gave the ball away too easily to Gen.G. Not a lot of intention behind it. You saw 2 or 3 air dribbles coming out from the outside of their box towards the other side of the field with really no chance on target or to be put away. You saw AJG with a couple of those. I feel like Complexity, they have to bring that ball down, find the space that's given to them. Gen.G are not perfect. They're almost perfect, but they're not perfect. And there are opportunities for Complexity to move the ball around the field. It's tough. It's a tough ask, but that's how they're going to have to beat Gen.G.
Now we'll see what they do. See whether it's demos, trying to dribble that ball a little bit more, whatever it may be. But something needs to get figured out. And that one off kickoff was rolling back towards net, but Nolly able to clear it off the goal line. CRR right back on target, but Chronic will get the save. Raise Bull is trying to prevent anyone from getting that ball at the mid. Does get it back to CRR. CRR! It's his first Grand Finals appearance, Corelli. Whereas we've had Gen.G, they've made 5 Grand Finals already this season.
Such an impressive stat. For Complexity, though, I really like the way they're starting things off here. First 30 seconds, it's all them. Possession to the blue side, and everyone went here from Gen.G and not coming up with the ball. Now Razebull, can he whip this one back around? And no boost, unfortunately, not enough to make anything happen. Now a fake from CRR, but still Complexity holding on, trying to keep Gen.G locked in. Can they keep this attack going? It'll come out to apparently Jack, but he's denied instantly. Chronic, awkward touch to the corner, but he makes it as Complexity still trying to get a vice grip on this Gen.G defense.
The best possession we've seen them have. And Complexity convert the shot on target. Chronic low gets the save. Chronic a lot of times that last man back to make those saves. Raze Bull Pops it high over one. Flip reset, App Jack, free jump, and he gets the stop out to the corner. Well played there by apparently Jack.
Some good feints coming out from Complexity as well. Faking a lot of the air dribbles or the delayed touch. Now this one comes out to AJG. What a redirect from AJG as Complexity finally breaks through.
And Chronic, he was doing his best to get that out. That pass, though, so perfect. You saw AJG was threatened by a bumper at Demo, was able to get around that and get the shot. Immense pressure converted on by Complexity, and that is going to do wonders. They finally break through, and it was a quality goal after so much possession.
Clinical pressure there from Complexity, generating 8 shots. Gen.G don't have one. They're going to get one right here. But for Complexity, that's the type of gameplay you're looking for. You have to not show and not play your cards so quickly. And they certainly slowed it down, and it forced Gen.G to kind of clump up in front of their net. A lot of space was afforded to Complexity from there.
Complexity trying to march this ball downfield. Nolly back to the ball, flip reset into the middle. Apparently Jack was in the air. He took the shot, but it was blocked away by CRR. Now a quick shot downfield. AJG trying to bounce it. Ground double tap. He gets a piece, but it's a double commit. Raise Bull.
Oh my.
Preventing that counter attack. Apparently Jack flick beats 2. AJG back pass to CRR, who in traffic's trying to control it, but he gets shut down. Ping-ponging off multiple Gen.G members, finally out to the corner. Still not out of danger yet.
It certainly is a resource battle. You're seeing a lot of players off the ball fighting for corner boosts, chasing after each other, trying to get a demo, cutting each other off as well so that they can't pick up pads. Now apparently Jack, lots of space. Nolly pre-jumps trying to get a piece of Racebull, chases them to the backboard. Racebull somehow stays with the play and makes the save.
Racebull keeping a cool head. Saw Nolly coming in for that bump. Nolly trying to play that lead blocker, but Racebull navigating it wonderfully. Then you see the 2 demos relieving some pressure. Complexity, I feel like the narrative of this one, Corelli, is that they found their composure this game.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Goodness. That was gross from apparently Jack. What on earth did I just witness? Bang! Racebull had no chance at it, and that's one way to get an equalizer.
Oh, those underflip shots. We've seen Chronic do it. We've seen Atomic do it. Now apparently Jack adding one to the highlight reel. But reset, Chronic gets another touch. Chronic!
Wow.
Clawing this lead back for Gen.G.
Oh, he makes it look so easy as well, the flip reset, but look how he gets another touch right by Racebull. So many touches on the ball. The composure from Chronic in the air is unmatched. And what a touch to give Gen.G the lead.
And those extra touches after the flip reset make all the difference. We saw it yesterday. We even saw it on the top plays today, Corelli, the flip reset from Nolly, where he went and got that extra little touch. That control to be able to get back to the ball, even with little boost. Chronic didn't have much in the tank to be able to get back there.
Well, and as a defender, you have to commit to your line. And once you do, it's really tough to change it up, especially at the speed that one was at. Racebull making another clutch save, his second here in game 2.
Chronic, shot opportunity, gets the flip reset, double tap shot save. Racebull's defense is giving some hope to Complexity, but they've got under a minute left to tie it up, and it looks like Gen.G starting to heat up.
What a talent Chronic has shown off to be here, and what he's turned into. Such a weapon for Gen.G. I mean, this is a guy who was struggling to qualify for regionals at one point, and now he only plays in grand finals.
Grand Final Simulator. CRR. Blocked by Chronic, who's waiting far post. Nolly with a 50. Will stay on it, waiting for the challenge. It kicks back towards net. Apparently Jack into a dribble. Now an air dribble. Out to Racebull. Chronic controlling it so nicely on the walls and gets the demo to get the game done.
He's so good offensively, defensively. I mean, he made that touch look like so easy. It was so soft, the finesse. And that was important too, off the back wall when time's running out and Complexity are trying to push up their line. to have that control and then to get the demo at the end. Brilliant stuff from Chronic.
Chronic, you saw him utilize the flip reset in a world-class fashion. Getting the flip reset back to the ball, getting an extra touch. You saw him get the flip reset, going for the double tap. That shot was blocked by Razebull. And on that last play, the flip reset into the wave dash to get a shot opportunity.
That shot from a
and that's what kick-started the comeback for Gen.G. And then once they got the lead, you felt like it was going to be tough for Complexity to battle back from.
Was he saying, "You're so good"? Is that what he was? I was trying to read his lips. He was yelling. He was saying something about it. And look, I think the hypeness level from, is that the right word? The hype coming out from Jack is so important. It energizes this team. And I think you've seen it in all these pop-offs. Every single time you look at these replays, it's apparently Jack screaming, smacking, his camera shaking. It looks like he's in an earthquake. But that's the type of level I think Jack's always wanted to be at. And this team allows him to be himself. And look what happens. He's hitting shots like that. He's getting up. He's screaming. And his team is 2-0 up in a grand final right now.
And you know, on the other side of the field, Complexity, the start of the game, and this one might be another good one. Chronic can't save it. A quick goal for Complexity. They had the lead last game as well. Will they be able to hold on to it this time?
And this one coming off the demo from AJG allowed this shot to kind of trickle into that goal line. Chronic almost got back to it. Complexity biting first here in the first seconds. Much needed after a great start to game 2, I would say. It slowly started to fizzle out. Gen.G, they started to take over.
Another demo from AJG. So will we see that as the adjustment? Something's got to change. Complexity risk losing this one and being on match point. And that one was a nice idea, but somehow Nolly gets a body on the play. The rebound, AJG scores it. Nolly couldn't get the ball under his control.
Look at this touch from Razebull into the corner. Look at the angle that this guy just got. And he forced Nolly to go, and it's a poor clear, comes right out to AJG to tap it in the end for him. But it was all Razebull there on that crazy angle to put it across the net.
And Razebull's been playing quite well. You even think back to the defensive stop that he had, dodging the bump, 2v1 situation. And now they're getting that play, and almost a ground pinch from AJG. It's so hard to elevate those. He almost put that top corner.
Complexity trying to heat up here. Razebull flip reset, waiting on it, trying to pinch it down again. A lot of delayed flip resets coming out from Complexity. And it's keeping Gen.G backed up on their line. They're scared to commit. See if Razebull goes for it again here off the corner, and a good dunk will keep Complexity on offense.
Shot. Blocked aside and a miss from Chronic. That opens up the field. Apparently Jack struggling. You saw him having to jump over the demo attempt. Complexity, the back pass. AJG gets dunked on by Nolly, now out to the corner. Jack lobs it to the middle, but Chronic was too far back. Chronic doesn't get the best clear, gets help from Nolly to push this over to the side. Nolly, panic clear upfield. Gen.G not able to keep that possession.
Oh, CRR, he's slicing, he's dicing. Can he put it far post? The control in the midfield to cut it across, and then there again in front of the net. Razebull past CRR, and this one's going to go wide once more for Complexity. The creativity ramping up, though. You can see the ideas, and on a 2-goal cushion, AJG, he's got Razebull in the midfield. There's a bump. He lets it go. The bump comes through, and Chronic still makes the save.
AJG almost taking out 2 defenders in 1 jump. Now we see 2 defenders demoed. But a quick counterattack, net wide open. CRR into the heart of the net. And Gen.G, looks like their heart has stopped in game 3.
Yeah, it looks like Chronic was trying to get back in time, went for the corner boost, didn't expect the transition to happen so quickly, and in the end, it's an open net for CRR. Complexity up 3-0 here in game 3.
Complexity, they showed a bit of what they had in game 2. Gen.G fought back. Game 3 has been all Complexity. They have not let off the gas. It started out with some demos from AJG. Offensively, possession heavily in favor for Complexity. Another pass in. AJG looks for the 50. Nolly with a backflip. Will tap it down to Jack. Jack, not much boost. Will bounce off the backboard. Chronic infield to Nolly. Nolly, the light hit. Not enough power on it. CRR streaks in for the save.
There it is again. These little passes around the box, dropping it in front of your teammates to wind up for a shot. Not being so direct is paying off, and apparently Jack almost bumps AJG out of the way. And now still Complexity holding on to this one. They're able to get out now. CRR, monster flick to the backboard.
my
Double tap, drops it down. CRR is insane.
He gets that big flick right into a double tap. No hesitation, nollie. Oh, that might be a poster play right there.
4-0 for Complexity. Statement is being made right now. And Gen.G, maybe the weakest game we've seen out of them today. It has been smooth sailing for them. And Complexity have flipped them upside down. Now Chronic trying to make amends, trying to fight back here with a minute 40 seconds left.
Half-Jack playing the 50. It's won by AJG. Nolly a bit surprised by it. Corner bounce. This is another awkward bounce. Double commit from Gen.G. Raise ball up high. CRR's on the ceiling. Reading the foul.
What?
CRR! Gee, Corelli, CRR, he's playing at a different level right now.
Oh my, they're gonna get another one here. AJG's gonna put it away. CRR is just free jumping. He's getting the perfect touch every time. That insane read, he almost put it away above the net. And then to find this angle at the last second, AJG's gonna put it home. But Complexity are running it away, and it's led by CRR.
We saw some crazy plays earlier in this event by Gen.G. Gen.G was pre-jumping offensively, defensively. Now we're seeing that type of creativity, that type of craziness from CRR and Complexity.
I'm kind of flabbergasted here, James. I mean, I did not expect Complexity. I expected them to win a few games here, have the possibility of winning this series, but to just smother Gen.G with the way they've been playing. 6-0, and they still got just under 20% of the game left to play. This is crushing for Gen.G.
In game 3, Complexity has turned the Tigers into kittens, that's for sure. Apparently Jack off kickoff. Doing his best. Another tip, AJG looking to get more. Can they get 7? And this is just shocking. After the first 2 games, setting it up. That's all I can think. They're setting it up.
Yeah, why not? Raise bull. Listen, it's still Complexity. In my mind, James, they're 7-0, right? It's 7-0 right now.
Yeah, it is. And there's still time left.
But what
30 seconds.
I mean, for Complexity, this is a fantastic game. And I think this is something that we saw in the previous game, James, in that first minute or two where they went up. They were all over Gen.G. This is what happens when they're converting on most of their chances. A 6-1 scoreline.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Nobody gets denied on the goal line. Somehow Gen.G keeping that one out, but the net might be wide open.
He faked them.
Raise ball does it. 7-1.
Take him down to South America, why don't you, Raise Bull? Let him fly by and put it over his head. That's a first-class ticket.
And how fitting is that? How fitting is that? Complexity getting to Brazil. And there's not even any Brazilians on that team.
I was going to say, they're not even Brazilian.
Complexity, a beatdown in game 3. Gen.G, this was the worst that we've seen them be. It's so bad that Gen.G is actually calling a timeout after that one loss.
If not for anything, to just lick your wounds. I mean, this was painful for Gen.G. And I mean, the stats tell the story exactly how it went down. 18 shots for Complexity. And Gen.G had a fair score line as well. They were able to put up 8.
Well, I mean, when you get saves, you get a lot of points.
Well, I just meant in the shooting department as well. 8 shots isn't that bad, but when it's up against 18, a little bit different there. And I think for Gen.G, they really have to do some thinking here. This is where you need to settle down. I think the timeout's perfect here to just talk about what happened. And maybe, like I was about to say, maybe stand up a little bit. Jack, I saw it for a second there, was getting up out of the chair, kind of shake that one off a little bit.
And I do think it's interesting because a lot of times you see teams wait until that match point wait until that point where they might be eliminated to call that timeout. But we've seen a few different strategies this event. You think about Dignitas calling the timeout after they won. Now, after that one big win, Gen.G deciding to blow the timeout then and there. We'll see if it pays off. But Gen.G needs to just get their composure back, because that game, I'm trying to think if I've ever seen Gen.G get beat that bad. I can't recall off the top of my head.
No, I can't either. And just a reminder, though, I mean, Gen.G are still winning in this series. It's 2-1 in favor of Gen.G. So they're taking a timeout while winning the series after obviously being crushed here in Game 3. And you can see some smiles coming out from Lucian there. I'm sure they're just kind of recalibrating here. But for Complexity, you got to be a little upset, because you were playing so well. Can you replicate this again? A little bit of a break here. Can you keep it going? Because we want to see this more than just one game. Okay, you blow them out one time. We got to see it more than once if you're going to win this series.
But I feel like we have seen it more than once. We
in the beginning of game 2.
And they very easily could have locked that game in, and you're starting to see Complexity really get comfortable. That last play with RLCS faking out the defender, that's how hard they're playing right now. You know that RLCS was hungry for that 7th goal, and Complexity showing us the depth of their offense. CRR getting incredibly, it's tough to remember and imagine that this is CRR's first grand final with how he's playing. We'll see if Complexity can keep it going. RLCS has been all over the field. Seems like he's been at the center of a lot of successful plays for Complexity.
By the way, James, that was the second worst loss that Gen.G has ever had. It was G2 that handed them a loss 8-0 in Fall 3.
Okay, well, I mean, that's
still not pretty.
Still, yeah, that second worst beatdown you've ever had. That's not what you hope for in the grand finals.
Certainly see if they can shake it off. Oh my,
Chronic reset, trying to get the 50 as well. There's a demo. Demos were what Complexity came out of the gate in Game 3, and it kind of set the tone. Another demo, and it was AJG who's been doing it quickly towards net. A skip save from apparently Jack. That one was heading for net.
Great work, though. Skip that one off. Now RLCS up and over Chronic. He's got Jack to beat. Let's dunk this one down. Still trying to find possession there after the air dribble. AJG might poke it free. He does! And Complexity jump into the lead.
AJG is playing so aggressively. Nolly trying to take a first touch. It's way too heavy. And AJG, the demoer for Complexity, hopping in there and getting that quick shot. Complexity picking up where they left off.
Just what Complexity needed. Chronic trying to get through CRR. AJG, he's got options as he puts it over everyone's head. Now he's going to try and play it towards RLCS. Denied by Nolly.
CRR jumping up high. Chronic around him. Another heavy first touch. We'll get back for the 50. Apparently Jack into an air dribble. 50 out. Chronic a little bit too slow. Now Nolly will shoot it towards net. Gives up possession, and now Complexity on the other end. A miss off the backboard, and AJG picks up his second.
Whoa, huge mistake coming out from Gen.G. It was apparently Jackie. You do not see him miss those often.
He was trying to drive up the wall. It was an awkward read. You wonder how much boost he had. Trying to get around there and drive up that wall. Very tough.
Now a fake kickoff came out from Gen.G to start off. But yeah, you don't see mistakes like that, James. Not often, especially not from apparently Jack. And Complexity good to take advantage, because that's one that you're not going to get again, I think, from Gen.G. They do not make those mistakes.
But in a 7-game series, or best of 7, sometimes little mistakes like that can cost you the entire series, not only the game. And Complexity, they already occupy a special spot in Gen.G's mind. With these last 2 games, you'll wonder if Gen.G is going to be able to come back. Apparently Jack letting that one fall to the corner. CRR has RLCS waiting. Ball finds its way to RLCS. First touch is real nice. Into a flip reset. Rebound out. CRR's backwards, trying to bicycle kick that one in. Couldn't do it.
I think RLCS has sat on the flip reset every single time he's got it. And I think the defense is slowly starting to figure that one out. Trying to be a little tricky with it. Now CRR pushing this one downfield. Complexity happy to sit on their 2-goal lead. It's up to Gen.G to produce an offense.
Chronic, awkward jump. Rebound finds its way out. Apparently Jack gets the stop. Huge demo from Nolly. AJG was ready to rip one.
And now this one left to Chronic. It goes high off the crossbar. Now CRR, 2v1. He's only got like 3 boosts in the tank there, and unfortunately couldn't hold on to it. Demo's coming out. That's 2 on Gen.G. Brazebull wasn't able to hold on to that one very well, and the attack slowly fizzling out here for Complexity.
Looked like he was trying to go low on that. Now the 50 will bounce it down. Seen a few double commits from Gen.G. Apparently Jack will get a nice bounce. Can't get the double, but Nolly's there to clean things up. And Gen.G within striking distance now.
Yeah, finally bouncing back here, and Jack just beating the first man to the ball on AJG. That sets up Nolly, and Chronic was there as well to wind up the shot. And Gen.G within 1.
Brazebull weaving it around the defense, trying to get this back to the middle. CRR didn't jump quick enough, and now it's a break, 2v1. Nolly gets help from Appjack. CRR down to the middle of the field. Chronic trying to back pass it, but he actually ends up helping Complexity, even though Complexity don't score. That touch making things awkward.
Backflip shot almost went through. Now Chronic near post will sneak it through. Gen.G finds the equalizer.
Brazebull maybe trying to do too much on that dribble. You see AJG jumping briefly, trying to get the wraparound, but the shot was coming too quickly, and Gen.G tied things up. In this game, it did not look like Gen.G was going to be able to fight back. This has been a scrappy game from Gen.G.
Yeah, they've been able to battle back in the limited chances that they've had. Complexity's offense has really kept Gen.G's touches limited here. But they have made the most of it when they've been given the opportunity. And now, with just over 30 seconds left, it's anyone's game.
Nolly shut down by Brazebull. Brazebull staying on the ball, going for the pass off the corner. Nolly can't get contact, and apparently Jack is there to get the stop. Brazebull picking up the corner and the clear to the sidewall. Now towards net, Nolly high up off the ceiling, the double. Trying to put it over to Chronic. Chronic can't get the touch, and it looked like there was a team bump there. The Gen.G recover. No boost for Chronic to get the touch. Nolly fighting to get this ball back to the middle, doesn't get the touch. And we've got overtime, a chance for Gen.G to go on match point.
Feels like a very level game after the halfway mark. Gen.G have battled back and earned themselves an overtime. I think their offense has slowly started to ramp up. You're seeing Complexity be a little awkward on defense as well. A couple double commits, but here's AJG trying to end it now. A miss comes out, and Brazebull just tries to keep it awkward. Doesn't want to give a pinch back towards his own side. CRR, hard tackle from him, and a bit clear from Nolly will reset things.
Oh, ooh, Brazebull, that ball bounced right by him.
Strike 1.
Bill, Complexity recovers. CRR getting free jump by Nolly. Appjack off the ceiling. Getting his jump, using it right away. CRR dunked on by Chronic. Now bump, AJG staying on the play. Off the corner, Brazebull trying to possess. Into a dribble. Flick past to AJG. AJG to the backboard. And Chronic will hit it away, but Brazebull took apparently Jack out. Now, Nolly taken out as well. The passing plays coming out from Complexity. AJG has CRR waiting upfield. CRR waiting. But the ball doesn't come to him. However, Complexity are starting to heat up.
Great touch there from Nolly to deny twice now. Gen.G, they put this one away, denied by CRR, but you can see Complexity did a great job bringing this ball down and finding each other, switching the field a little bit more often as well. They've had multiple setups on the clears from Gen.G. Here's Brazebull taking this one himself, tried to go under. Follow up from CRR is aggressive. As AJG can't get beat here. To the backboard it goes. Follow up from Brazebull, denied by Chronic.
Chronic, huge stop there. AJG, hard pinch off the ceiling. Chronic over to the corner. Apparently Jack racing to it and will relieve the pressure with a big clear. Another challenge from Appjack. AJG looking for the sidewall. Gen.G setting up at the midfield.
Brought it down.
2 boosts, though, for CRR. He's out. Raise bull. One for the 50. High ball, Chronic. It's a double tap ball. The double tap interrupted, though. CRR clearing it off to the side and getting a challenge. Apparently, Jack stretching to it. Doesn't get the most on it. CRR towards net. It's off target. Bounces off the wall and out. Now Nolly and a dribble. Ball finds its way down. Apparently, Jackie's denied. Chronic's up. Light shot saved by CRR.
Oh, my. CRR is everywhere, but he's got to come up big again. Appjack's got an open net. CRR off the post. Comes up huge defensively.
Coming up big again, and now the ball lobbed back towards net. AJG high hit off the arc and down. And Nolly will boom it out, approaching 3 minutes of overtime, and it has been exciting every second.
CRR is playing out of his mind right now. He's beating defenders. He's defending his net. He's attacking by himself. He's setting up his teammates. They just need a clean shot. And now Chronic over CRR. He got beat this time, and it might cost him. Nolly puts it away, and Gen.G up 3.
Nolly with the immediate jump underflip shot gets the power. And Gen.G take Complexity down in what I think will be the critical game of the series, Corelli.
I really cursed CRR there. I'm so sorry. He was playing such a great game and then got beat right at the end there. Gen.G, boy, did they have to battle for this one. This is a far cry from any of the games that they've had, any of the series that they've had so far since I think probably the last time they played Complexity. And for Gen.G, it's not pretty, but it's working out. And that offense, it's looked great when it started to click. Complexity, boy, you feel like they left a lot on the table here. A lot of opportunity they just couldn't convert on.
Yeah, and I mean, it was another situation where Complexity takes that lead, and they weren't able to hold on to it. And this was coming off the timeout from Gen.G. And the last game, it was a beatdown, Corelli, an absolute beatdown. So to see Gen.G bounce back like this, I think speaks volumes to this team. And they've had so much experience and with 5 grand finals so far, now getting to the grand finals yet again. This team means business, and they showed with this particular game, this individual game, that they really are legit.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't think anyone really questioned that from either team, to be clear. But I think for Gen.G, there's a little bit of that grit that you can see coming out for them, as you're alluding to, James. But I do like the way Complexity played that previous game, despite the loss. I love seeing them bring the ball down, find each other across the field a lot more. That's really where I think they shine, is switching the field so much. They did that a lot, generated so many chances for them against this Gen.G defense, who do like to kind of pile up and take the challenges head on.
We even see a lot of times members of Gen.G happen to throw 2 defenders at the ball here and there just to ensure that it gets stopped on the goal line. And Gen.G must have had that confidence restored. Chronic already up. There it is again.
He pre-jumped. The trust this team has is unmatched. The second he saw Nolly free, he started jumping. And a perfect pass. He knew exactly where he was getting sauced up. And a 1-0 lead for Gen.G early on.
Wow, Gen.G. They got hit hard. Looked like they were stumbling for a brief moment, but now they're right back on their feet. Apparently Jack jostling CRR over in the corner. I don't know what that, it didn't look like a roll one, but it did take him out of the game for a brief moment. Now a demo, raise bull, quick shot, and Nolly back in time.
What a read from Nolly there. A little bit more power, it might have gotten through. Now the bump comes out, CRR pops out to him, but the shot directly at apparently Jack. Complexity trying to get a quick response, but the defense stingy here from Gen.G.
CRR lobbing that up. Raise bull in reverse, going for a 50, kicks out to AJG into a dribble, looked for CRR on the pass, but nothing doing. Now a quick shot, and that does catch Gen.G out.
And what happened here? They had a last man and apparently Jack, and he bit here. And he didn't get the touch. He got chased out of his side and then didn't come up with the touch either. And Complexity takes advantage.
It's a long road for Complexity. Got to get 3 straight wins. There's Gen.G, can end it with just 1. CRR air dribble shut down by Chronic Nolly. Heavy first touch, but it's right out to Abjack. Jack shut down, ball bouncing off the corner. Chronic to Nolly, Nolly back to Chronic. Chronic leaves it, faking it out, but apparently Jack wasn't in the play. Now he enters the picture, and he's the main character in the goal.
And this is the issue with the defenses that go up against Gen.G's offense, is the extra pass is never off the table. When the obvious shot is to be taken, Gen.G choose to pass, and they do it over and over and over again until you dive in, and it's an
even
easy
when there's no one to pass to. You know, you saw Chronic with that backflip and deciding not to take the hit and rather fight for possession on the ball in the corner. And it led to that shot opportunity for apparently Jack.
I mean, we don't see any team that has this type of cohesion like Gen.G. And you see how it pays off for them. That play is a perfect example of what people say when they talk about Gen.G being on the same page. Gen.G having that cohesion. It's incredible.
Big brain plays. Big brain plays. And you saw apparently Jack even fighting for that corner boost and getting it. Quick shot. There's a demo. CRR. The pinch. Chronic has to get up quickly. Now Complexity starting to work up an attack. Raise bull into the middle. 2 go. Nolly and Chronic both jump. Now an infield pass cut out by apparently Jack. The quick shot. Apparently Jack trying to catch him out.
Complexity's offense has felt a little flat here. Certainly not like the last couple of games. Need to see more out of them. They're sitting on match point. CRR, he's got 2 minutes to go to work. He's got options to his right. Beats the first man. Needs a dunk here. Fighting for every inch on the Gen.G side, but it's just not enough. AJG's got to slow it down and wait for his team to get back.
And winning a regional grand final all but guarantees you that spot at the major, and that would mean everything for this Complexity team that has been so hungry, so eager for success. Whereas Gen.G, after winning the major, looking to get back and win another one, it would really help them along on that journey. Chronic going to the corner, fakes the double, raise bull, doesn't get much on it. The net was vulnerable, the shot was high. Very easily could have been the 3rd goal for Gen.G.
But you're right. I mean, it's only a 1-goal difference here, James. In the final minute, who will be the hero for Complexity? Who will step up? A single goal can at least send them to overtime if they don't do it in regulation. Raise bolt denied by Nolly. Great challenge. Just keeping Complexity back. Gen.G not going to let anything in for free.
Under a minute left to play. Can Complexity do it? Oh, there's a demo. The ball bouncing. And you saw Chronic peel off at the last second. Possession back to Gen.G. Raise bull, trying to get this ball to the corner. And you can really feel that urgency. Wonderful pass, but the shot blocked immediately by apparently Jack.
What a read from apparently Jack, and he take it all the way himself to end it. The dagger here for Chronic. Gen.G, they're unstoppable.
Apparently Jack getting that extra little touch on the ball, forcing that 50 on the goal line. And Gen.G, despite getting beat 7-1, they called the immediate timeout. And Corelli, do they bounce back or what?
Oh my goodness. In the best way. In the fullest of the word, they have bounced back. And they've taken down, I think, the final boss that has been for Gen.G, Complexity. My goodness.
And Gen.G, they take it all once more. They're your Winter Open champions.